Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful. For thou art not so. For those whom thou think'st thou dost overthrow die not, poor Death, nor yet canst thou kill me.
Has anybody seen Susie?
One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more, comma, death thou shalt die.
Okay, here's everything. Okay.
What is this? Why did you leave her like this?
I had to find you now. Come on. We're ready, Professor Baring. Get this on. All right. All right. Just get this up. Ooh, just relax. Okay. Isn't that interesting, Susie, that I had Professor Baring?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had taken some literature. I don't know anything about poetry.
Professor Baring was very highly regarded on campus, looked very good on my transcript that I had taken her course. They even asked me about it in my interview to medical school. Jesus.
What?
What?
Yeah, I survived Baring's course, and no problem. Yeah, John Donne, those metaphysical poets, that metaphysical wit. Hardest poetry in the English department. I'd like to see them try biochemistry. Okay. We're almost done. All right. Yeah, okay. That's it. We're done. Okay, I gotta go. Take our feet out of... Yeah.
That was hard. That was... One thing that can be said for an 8-month course of cancer treatment, it is highly educational. I am learning to suffer. Yes, it is mildly uncomfortable to have an electrocardiogram, but the agony of a colonoscopy sweeps it from memory. Yes, it was embarrassing to have to wear a nightgown all day long. 2 nightgowns. But that seemed like a positive privilege compared to watching myself go bald. Yes, having a former student give me a pelvic exam was thoroughly degrading, and I use the term deliberately. But I could not have imagined the depths of humiliation. Oh. Oh, God. Please. Steady. Steady. Oh, God. What's left? I haven't eaten in 2 days. What's left to puke? You may remark that my vocabulary has taken a turn for the Anglo-Saxon. God, I'm going to barf my brains out. Oh. If I did actually barf my brains out, it would be a great loss to my discipline. Of course, not a few of my colleagues would be relieved, to say nothing of my students. It's not that I'm controversial. Just uncompromising. False alarm. If the word went round that Vivian Baring had barfed her brains out, well, first, my colleagues, most of whom are my former students, would scramble madly for my position. And then their consciences would flare up. So to honour my memory, they would put together a collection of their essays about John Donne. The volume would begin with a warm introduction capturing my most endearing qualities. It would be short, but sweet. Published and perished. Now, watch this. I have to ring the bell.
How you doing, Miss Baring? You having some nausea?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be with you in a second.
Someone has to come and measure this emesis and record it on a chart of my intake and output. This counts as output. It's about 300 cc's.
Is that all?
It was very hard work.
Yep, it's 300. Good guess. Okay. Anything else I can get you? Got some Jell-O or something?
Thank you, no.
You okay all by yourself in here?
Yes.
You're not having a lot of visitors, are you?
None. To be precise.
I didn't think so. Is there somebody you want me to call or something?
That won't be necessary. I don't want visitors.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just put my head in every once in a while to see how you're doing. Make sure you're okay. If you need anything, you just ring.
Thank you.
Okay. You just call.
Do not forget that you are seeing the most interesting aspects of my tenure as an inpatient receiving experimental chemotherapy for advanced metastatic ovarian cancer. But as I am a scholar, I feel obliged to document what it is like here most of the time between the dramatic climaxes. In truth, it is like this. You cannot imagine how time can be so still. It hangs. It weighs. And yet there is so little of it. It goes so slowly. And yet it is so scarce. If I were writing this scene, it would last a full 15 minutes. I would lie here, and you would sit there. Not to worry. Brevity is the soul of wit. But if you think 8 months of cancer treatment is tedious for all of you, consider how it feels to play my part. All right, all right. Let's say it's Friday morning. Grand rounds is what they call it. Action!
Dr. Barry?
Dr. Kalikian.
Professor Baring, how are you feeling today?
Fine.
Great, just great. Very late detection, stage just 4 upon admission. Hexamethylphosphosol with Vin platin to potentiate. Hex at 300 milligrams per meter squared, Vin at 100. Today is cycle 4, day 3. All cycles are at the full dose. Primary site is here, behind the left ovary. Metastases are suspected in the peritoneal cavity, mainly in this area here. Full lymphatic involvement. At the time of first look surgery, a significant part of the tumor was debulked, mainly in this area here. Left, right ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, all out. Evidence of primary site shrinkage. Shrinking in metastases has not been documented. Primary mass, frankly palpable in pelvic exam, all through here.
Excellent command of details. Okay. Problem areas with Exenvin?
First, of course, is myelosuppression, a lowering of blood cell counts. That goes without saying. With this combination of agents, nephrotoxicity will be next.
Anybody else? Side effects?
Nausea, vomiting.
Jason?
Routine.
Pain while urinating.
Routine.
Psychological depression.
No way.
Oh, anything else? Other complaints with Hexenvin? Come on.
Mouth sores?
Not yet.
Skin rash?
No.
Why do we waste our time, Dr. Berry?
I do not know, Dr. Kalikian.
Use your eyes. Good grief. Hair loss.
Come on.
Doesn't count.
You can see that.
Jason?
Hair loss after first cycle of treatment.
That's better. Dr. Berry, full dose. Good. Excellent. Keep pushing the fluids. Jason, clinical.
Oh, right. Thank you, Professor Baring. You've been very cooperative.
Wasn't that grand? Full of subservience, hierarchies, gratuitous displays, sublimated rivalries. I feel completely at home. It is just like a graduate seminar. With one important difference. In grand rounds, they read me like a book. Once I did the teaching, now I am taught. This is much easier. I just hold still and look cancerous. Jason was impressive, wasn't he? I taught him, you know. Nephrotoxicity, kidney poisoning, myelosuppression. They are medical terms. I look them up. It has always been my custom to treat words with respect. I can recall the time, the very hour of the very day when I knew words would be my life's work.
I like that one best.
Read another.
I think I'll read The Tale of the Flopsy Bunnies.
Has little bunnies on the front.
The Tale of the Flopsy Bunnies by Beatrix Potter. It is said that the effect of eating too much lettuce is what is this word?
Say it in bits.
Sop or I fic. So poor I fic. What does that mean?
Soporific, causing sleep.
Causing sleep.
Makes you sleepy.
Soporific means makes you sleepy.
That's right. Now, use it in a sentence. What has a soporific effect on you?
What has a soporific effect on me?
What makes you sleepy?
Nothing.
That's right.
What about you?
What has a soporific effect on me? Let me think. Boring conversation, I suppose, after dinner.
Me too. Boring conversation.
Good. Excellent. Carry on.
It is said that the effect of eating too much lettuce is soporific.
The little bunnies in the picture are sleeping. They're sleeping, like you said, because of soporific. The illustration bore out the meaning of the word, just as he had explained it. At the time, it seemed like magic. So, imagine the effect the words of John Donne first had on me. Ratiocination, concatenation, coruscation, tergiversation. Medical terms are less evocative. Still, I want to know what the doctors mean when they anatomize me. My only defense is the acquisition of vocabulary. Fever and neutropenia.
Okay, when did it start?
I was at home reading. I felt so bad. I called. Fever and neutropenia. They said to come in.
You did the right thing. Did somebody drive you?
No cab. I took a taxi.
Okay. Okay, just sit here a minute. I'll get Jason. He's on call tonight, and I'm going to give you some meds. I'm glad I was here tonight. I'm going to get you to a bed soon, okay? I'm going to get you some juice, some nice juice with lots of ice, okay?
Lights. I left all the lights on in my house.
Don't worry about it. It'll be okay.
Yeah. That's the bearing. You're feeling.
My teeth are chattering.
Vitals?
Temp 102, pulse 120, respiration 36.
Fever and neutropenia. It's a shake and bake. Blood culture and urine, stat, admitter, prepare for reverse isolation. Start with acetaminophen. Vitals every 4 hours.
Jason, I think you need to talk to Kalikian about lowering the dose for the next cycle. It's too much for her like this.
Lower the dose. No way. She's tough. She can take it. Full dose. Wake me when the counts come from the lab.
Good morning, Dr. Baring. Full dose? Definite progress. Everything okay?
Yes.
You're doing swell. Isolation is no problem. A couple of days. Think of it as a vacation.
Oh.
Listen.
Oh, okay.
In isolation. I am isolated. For once I can use a term literally. The chemotherapeutic agents eradicating my cancer have also eradicated my immune system. In my present condition, every living thing is a health hazard to me.
I really have not got time for this.
Particularly healthcare professionals.
Just to check the INO sheets for 1 minute takes me a half an hour to do precautions.
Oh.
5711, 250 twice. Okay. Oh, Professor Baring, how are you feeling today?
Fine, just shaking sometimes from the chills.
IV should kick in any time now, no problem. Listen, I gotta go. Keep pushing the fluids, okay?
I am not in isolation because I have cancer. Because I have a tumor the size of a grapefruit. No. I am in isolation because I am being treated for cancer. My treatment imperils my health. Herein lies the paradox. John Donne would revel in it. I would revel in it if he wrote a poem about it. My students would flounder in it because paradox is too difficult to understand. Think of it as a puzzle, I would tell them, an intellectual game. Or I would have told them, were it a game, which it is not.
Through death on else immortal us. If lecherous goats, if serpents envious, cannot be damned. Alas, why should I be?
Why should intent or reason born in me make sins else equal in me more heinous? And mercy being easy and glorious to God in his stern wrath, why threatens he? But who am I that dare dispute with thee?
Oh God, oh, of thine only worthy blood,
and my tears make a heavenly Lethean flood and drown in it my sins' black memory. That thou remember them, some claim as dead. I think it mercy if thou wilt forget. A typical prayer would plead, remember me, O Lord. True believers ask to be remembered by God. The speaker of this sonnet asks God to forget. We want to correct the speaker. To remind him of the assurance of salvation, but it is too late. The poetic encounter is over. We are left to our own consciences. Have we outwitted Donne? Miss Baring.
Or have we been outwitted?
Miss Baring.
What is it?
You have to go down for a test. Jason just called. They want to do another ultrasound. They're concerned about a bowel obstruction.
No, not now.
I'm sorry, they want it now.
Not right now. It's not supposed to be now.
Yes, they want to do it now. I've got the chair.
It should not be now. I am in the middle of this. I have this planned for now, not ultrasound. No more tests. We've covered that.
I know, but they need for it to be now. It isn't a bad procedure and it won't take long, so why don't you just come along now?
I do not want to go now.
Miss Baring.
Name?
B-E-A-R-I-N-G. Kilikian.
It'll just be a minute.
Time for your break.
Yep.
Take a break. This is my play's last scene. Here, heavens appoint my pilgrimage's last mile. And my race, idly yet quickly run, hath this last pace. My span's last inch, my minute's last point, and gluttonous death will instantly unjoint my body and soul. John Donne, 1609. I've always particularly liked that poem. In the abstract. Now I find the image of my minute's last point a little too, shall we say, pointed. I don't mean to complain, but I am becoming very sick. Very, very sick. Ultimately sick, as it were. In everything I have done, I have been steadfast, resolute. Some would say in the extreme. Now, as you can see, I am distinguishing myself in illness. I have survived 8 treatments of hexamethylphosphorus and vinplatin at the full dose, ladies and gentlemen. I have broken the record. I have become something of a celebrity. Kilikian and Jason are simply delighted. I think they see celebrity status for themselves. Upon the appearance of the journal article, they will no doubt write about me. But I flatter myself, the article will not be about me. It will be about my ovaries. It will be about my peritoneal cavity, which, despite their best intentions, is now crawling with cancer. What we have come to think of as me is, in fact, just the specimen jar, just the dust jacket, just the white piece of paper that bears the little black marks. My next line is supposed to be something like this. Oh, it is such a relief to get back to my room after those infernal tests. This is hardly true. It would be a relief to be a cheerleader on her way to Daytona Beach for spring break. To get back to my room after those infernal tests is just the next thing that happens. Oh, God. It is such a relief to get back to my goddamn room after those goddamn tests.
Professor Baring, just want to check your INO. $450, 6.5. Okay. How you feeling today?
Fine.
Great. It's just great.
How are my fluids?
Pretty good. No kidney involvement yet. That's pretty amazing with Hex and Vin.
How will you know when the kidneys are involved?
Lots of in, not much out.
That simple.
Well, no way. Compromised kidney function is a highly complex reaction. I'm simplifying it for you.
Thank you.
We're supposed to.
Bedside manner.
There's a whole course on it in med school. It's required. Colossal waste of time for researchers.
I can imagine. Jason?
Huh?
What were you saying just then?
When?
Never mind.
Professor Baring, you experiencing confusion? Short-term memory loss?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was just wondering, why cancer?
Why cancer?
Or why not open heart surgery?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, why not plumbing? Why not run a lubrac for all the surgeons know about Homo sapiens sapiens? And no way. Cancer's the only thing I ever wanted.
Huh?
No, really, cancer is...
Awesome?
Yeah. It is awesome. How does it do it? The intercellular regulatory mechanisms, especially for proliferation and differentiation. The malignant neoplasia just don't get it.
Neoplasia. Cancer cells.
Yes, that's right. You grow normal cells in a tissue culture in a lab, and they replicate just enough to form a nice confluent monolayer, and then they divide 20 times or 50 times, but eventually they conk out. You grow cancer cells, and they never stop. No contact inhibition whatsoever. They just pile up. They keep replicating forever. It's got a great name. You know what it's called?
No, what?
Immortality in culture.
That sounds like a symposium.
It's an error in judgment in a molecular way. But why? Even on a protistic level, the normal cell-cell interactions are so subtle, they take your breath away. It's incredible. It's perfect. So what's up with cancer cells? Smartest guys in the world, the best labs, funding. They don't know what to make of it.
What about you?
Me? Oh. I've got some things I'm kicking around. Wait till I get a lab of my own. If I can survive this fellowship.
Let's part with the human beings.
Everybody's got to go through it, all the best researchers. They want us to be able to converse intelligently with the clinicians, as if researchers were the impediment. Clinicians are such troglodytes. Just cut the crap, I say.
Are you going to be sorry when... Do you ever miss people?
Everybody asks that, especially girls.
What do you tell them?
Tell them yes.
Are they persuaded?
Some.
Some. I see. And what do you say when a patient is apprehensive, frightened?
Of who?
I just... Never mind.
Professor Baring, who's the President of the United States?
I'm fine. Really, it's all right.
You sure? I could order a test.
No. No. I'm fine. Just a little tired.
Okay. Listen, I gotta go. Keep pushing the fluids. Try for 2,000 a day, okay?
Okay. To use your word. Okay. So, the young doctor, like the senior scholar, prefers research to humanity. At the same time, the senior scholar, in her pathetic state as simpering victim, wishes the young doctor would take more interest in personal contact. Now, I suppose we shall see how the senior scholar ruthlessly denied her simpering students the touch of human kindness she now seeks.
How, then, would you characterize... You! How would you characterize the animating force of this sonnet?
Huh?
In this sonnet, What is the what is the principal poetic device? I'll give you a hint. It has nothing to do with football. What propels this sonnet? You can come to this class prepared, or you can excuse yourself from this class, this department, and this university. Do not think for a moment that I will tolerate anything in between.
Did I say? You are 19 years old. You are so young. You don't know a sonnet from a steak sandwich. By no means.
To scan the line properly, we must take advantage of the contemporary flexibility in ION endings, as in expansion. The quatrain stands: Are two souls, therefore, which are one, though I must go, endure not yet a breach, but an expansion, like gold to airy thinness beat. Bear this in mind in your reading. That's all for today.
Professor Baring, can I talk to you for a minute?
You may.
I need to ask for an extension on my paper. I'm really sorry. I know your policy, but...
Don't tell me. Your grandmother died.
You knew?
It was a guess.
I have to go home.
Do what you will, but the paper is due when it is due.
I don't know. I feel so much. What is the word? I look back and I see these scenes and
Baring, is that you beeping at 4 o'clock in the morning? Did that wake you? Sorry, it just gets occluded sometimes.
oh, I was awake.
Where? What's the trouble, sweetheart?
Oh, I don't know.
Can't sleep?
No, I just keep thinking.
If you do that too much, you can get kind of confused.
I know. I can't seem to figure things out. I'm in a quandary. Having these doubts.
Well, what you're doing is very hard.
Hard things are what I like best.
No, but it's not the same. It's like it's out of control, isn't it?
I'm scared.
Of course you are.
I want to. I don't feel so sure of myself anymore.
And you used to feel sure, didn't you?
Yes, I used to feel sure.
Oh, Vivian, it's okay. It's all right. And it hurts. I know. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Vivian, it's okay. It's all right. Hey, Vivian, you want a popsicle?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm gonna go get one. I'll be right back, okay?
The epithelial cells in my GI tract have been killed by the chemo. The cold popsicle feels good. It's something I can digest, and it helps keep me hydrated. For your information.
There you go.
Cute. Here.
You sure? Thanks.
Cute.
You know, when I was a kid, we used to get these from a truck. The man would come around and he'd ring his bell and we'd all go running over. And then we'd sit on the curb and eat our popsicles. It's pretty profound, huh?
Sounds nice.
Vivian, there's something we need to talk about. That you need to think about.
My cancer's not being cured, is it? They never expected it to be, did they?
Well, they thought the drugs would make the tumor get smaller. And it has. It's gotten a lot smaller. But the problem is it started in other places, too. And, I mean, they've learned a lot for their research, and it was the best thing they had to give you. It was the strongest drugs. It's just that there really isn't a good cure for what you have yet. For advanced ovarian. I'm sorry, they should have explained this to you.
I knew.
You did?
I read between the lines.
What you need to think about is your code status. What you want them to do if your heart stops beating. Well, you can be full code, which means that if your heart stops, we'll call a code blue, and the code team will come in and resuscitate you and take you to intensive care until you stabilize. Or you can be do not resuscitate, which means that if your heart stops, we'll just let it. You'll be DNR. And you can think about it, but I just wanted to present you with both choices before Kalikian and Jason come in and talk to you.
You don't agree about this?
They like to save lives. So anything's okay as long as the life continues. Doesn't matter if you're hooked up to 1 million machines. Kalikian's a great researcher, he is, and the fellows like Jason, they're really smart. And it's an honor for them to be working with him. They always want to know more things.
I always want to know more things. I'm a scholar. Or I was. When I had shoes. When I had eyebrows.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, you'll be full code.
No. Don't complicate the matter.
No, really, it's fine. It's up to you.
Just let it stop.
Really?
Yes.
So if your heart stops beating,
just let it stop.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll get Kalikian to give the order, and then...
Susie.
Yeah?
You're still going to take care of me, aren't you?
Of course I am. Don't you worry, sweetheart. Okay.
Thank you. Well, that certainly was a maudlin display. Popsicles, sweetheart. I can't believe my life has become so corny. But it can't be helped. I don't see any other way. We are discussing life and death, and not in the abstract either. We are discussing my life and my death. And I can't conceive of any other tone. Now is not the time for verbal swordplay. Nothing would be worse than a detailed scholarly analysis of erudition, interpretation, complication. Oh. Now is the time for simplicity. Now is the time for, dare I say it, kindness. I thought being extremely smart